All right, y'all. So we're going to talk about the power and control wheel, also known as the cycle of abuse, as we're in Domestic Violence Awareness Month. All right. Remember, I'm not a professional. I'm not licensed. I'm just a human being who's been through it, who's going through it. And y'all have Google at your fingertips, and you can educate yourselves at your leisure. And I am going to check notes like I tell you I will when I do. Basically, this power and control cycle or cycle a wheel of abuse essentially illustrates the power and control that the abuser has over us, right? Over the victim, so we talk about narcissism and narcissists. This is a whole wheel full of like, OMG, this is all real. All right. So we're going to break it down into the 4 cycles that there are. We're going to check some notes. So it starts off with the first phase is considered to be tensions that build up. And that's basically like any kind of strain in the relationship. So hypothetically, we could talk about intimate relationships. I was in a marriage with it. That happens, whether it's tensions from work, tensions that come from outside the home that are then brought into the home, where the abuser feels the right to express or lash out at their partner because of that. Right? They can't lash out at work if they're narcissists because they don't want to get fired, right? We don't want to, the worst thing they want is to get caught, to have proof, right? So that takes us to the second part of the cycle where you go, so now you're here. So now we're going to go to the next part of the cycle, which is the incident. That is when they do lash out. That's when it starts, whether it's the physical abuse, financial abuse, coercive abuse, psychological, mental, narcissistic, all that stuff. So, right, the tensions are building. Now the lashing out part happens. So now, or what's considered the incident. So then we get to number 3, which is the reconciliation, right? It's like you go back into that honeymoon phase, right? The love bombing starts all over again, and you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, this is going to be great. This is going to be good. And, and then we're like in our minds, because we're already so far deep and manipulated by this, we're thinking to ourselves, okay, they're doing better. Things are going to be okay. And then what happens? Time runs out and they go right back to their ways. And because they've already got you into that loop, now you're like, am I the one that missed something? Did I do something wrong? Am I the cause of this? Right? So the 4th step in this cycle is what's called the calm. Now, when we talk about the calm, so after the reconciliation and the apologies and the I'm going to change, the calm essentially comes into the effect of those parts and days and weeks that happen afterwards. And what happens is we develop, well, in most cases, we're in love, and we develop this, I'm going to stay because I love them. I'm going to stay because I have hope that they will be able to change and grow, right? I don't know if it's a thing, but I call it toxic hope. Yes, toxic hope, because that's what it is. The hope that someone, let me tell you, if they hit you once, they're going to hit you again. If you're manipulated, if you're abused, especially if you're with a narcissist, if you're in the relationship and you're trying to find a way out, just know that there are tools out there to help you. If you're in this situation and you're terrified, you're not alone. We've been there. It's important for people to know. And so if you are still in silence, if you are still waiting maybe for divorce and stuff like that to get done, make sure you're safe. That's always what I'll ask you first. And you're alive and you're listening to this, you're breathing, I'm breathing. That means there's a lot more right with us than wrong. So you're not alone. We're in it together, and I love you.